Hey everyone. When the Europeans first came to Rapa Nui on the Easter Sunday of 1722, they were met by a shore devoid of trees and studded with the ominous moai, the titanic stone representations of the ancestors. Despite these monoliths, few islanders remained on the wind-blasted rock. So what happened to the people of Easter Island? So today, let's know about the mystery of Easter Island. Let's start the video, but before that, please don't forget to subscribe to this channel and like this video. The first settlers on Easter Island were Polynesians led by the chief Hotu Matue. Making the journey in large canoes, the sailors relied on the stars to guide their cargo of people, crops, and livestock. They went on to dwell in relative isolation on Rapa Nui, a volcanic island 3,540 kilometers off the coast of Chile. The islanders brought a variety of crops with them, including sweet potatoes, gourds, bananas, taro, and berries. They would also have relied on the palm trees of the island along with visiting the fish, fowl for meat, and wood. The Polynesian rat are thought to have come with the settlers, and they might be behind the disaster that eventually struck the island. The most iconic image of Easter Island is the imposing carved stone heads gazing over the blasted grassland. There used to be several thousand, but civil war and wealthy collectors have led to the destruction or theft of many of the moais. There's just shy of 1,000 of these carvings today, each resembling an ancestral figure of the Rapa Nui that had been elevated to a deitic state. Research suggests that they were thought to bring fertility to the ground around them. The moai were carved at Ranu Raraku, a quarry in the center of the island. They would have had to be moved from the quarry to their intended home. The islanders would have to somehow transport these 14-ton monuments up to 18 kilometers without the benefit of modern technology. Interestingly, the ground around Ranu Raraku has a much higher fertility than the rest of the island due to the minerals scattered into the soil during the quarrying process. There's even evidence that the islanders had transformed the area surrounding the quarry into a farm of sorts, using the rich soil to fuel a massive vegetable garden. There's debate over what caused the palm tree population of Rapa Nui to dwindle. A common theory is that they were cut down for fuel, construction, or even to free up farmland, and at some point the rate of deforestation overcame the growth rate. Perhaps a less common theory is that Polynesian rat stowaways were to blame. There are a huge amount of rat bones in the soil and sand of the islands, accompanied by gnawed palm seed shells. It could be that the rats gorged on palm seeds and prevented new palms from growing. Whether from human exploitation, rodent hunger, or a combination of both, deforestation caused an ecological chain reaction. Without the palm roots to secure the topsoil, rain and wind took the fertile volcanic soil and washed it into the waves. The islanders took to burning grass for heat, and rat meat became a significant part of the rank and file diet. The elite still had access to fish. Presumably, they had access to the patched remains of the fishing canoes. Resource shortages may also have led to cannibalism. The cave known as Anakai Tangata offers some support to this theory. Decorated with shark fat-based paintings, the name roughly translates as Cave Eat Man, meaning the cave where men are eaten. Interestingly, the subject of many of the paintings is a seagull, a main icon of the cult of Tangata Manu, the Birdman. Other researchers blame slave raids and smallpox for the dwindling population. Raids from the mainland would have found the isolated islanders easy prey, and any peaceful encounter could have resulted in exposure to deadly diseases. When Europeans reached the island in 1722, they found an almost barren wasteland populated with a few thousand islanders. This number would dwindle to a few hundred during the 1800s. Sometime around 1700, the islanders seemed to move away from the moai statues. Instead, they began carving designs venerating a Birdman figure. The islanders had long considered the Manutara bird a symbol of luck. Migratory birds brought a glut of eggs and meat to the Rapa Nui. Transferring worship from the failed worship of the Maui probably seemed like a good idea to the increasingly hungry population. Carvings of human bird hybrids have been found carved into the backs of some Maui. One rite of the cult was an annual race. Celebrants engaged in various ceremonies, allegedly including ritual cannibalism in honor of Make, the creator deity of the Rapa Nui people. Chosen champions from each clan then descended the cliffs, swam across shark-infested waters to an islet using a float, climbed the rocks, and finally waited for an egg. Tucking the prize into their headband, they had to make the return trip in the same manner, keeping the egg intact. Death was very common, but the chieftain whose champion brought back the egg became Tangata Manu and the de facto ruler of the island. So desirable was the prize that a winning clan enacted rules that barred members of other clans from competing. Remnants of the Birdman festival remains to this day. Modern islanders celebrate the Tapati Rapa Nui festival each February with contests of carving, dancing, and music. The islanders split into two teams, each led by a queen. The winner is crowned Queen of the Island for a year. Well, that's it for today. I hope you're liking Nerdies discoveries. Can't wait for the next video to learn more and be fascinated about. See you on the next. Bye.